Welcome everyone! In this video, we are going to be diving into my top 3 best teams for the Summer Cup. Now guys, the Summer Cup is a brand new cup that Niantic has introduced for Season 11 of Pokemon Go, and it's looking to be pretty fun. It's one of the more balanced cups that they've recently introduced. I think out of all of the new cups that they've introduced for Season 11, this one has to be the most balanced meta. So it's looking pretty good. For those of you who are unaware, it takes place at the Great League format, which is a maximum CP limit of 1,500, and only normal, fire, grass, water, electric, and bug types are allowed in this cup. So, looking to be pretty interesting. This was actually the one that I was most excited for because I saw the most potential in it. And we are going to dive into 3 teams today that I think will set you up for the most success in the Summer Cup. So, without further ado, let's dive into team number 1. All right, guys, here we go. Team number 1. And it is quite powerful for the Summer Cup, guys. It leads with Tropius on the lead, Lickitung as your safe swap, and Walrein in the back to close the game strong. Now, guys, those of you that don't have a Tropius available to you, you can swap that out for Trevenant. Trevenant will work just fine. In the place of Tropius. You will lose quite a bit of bulk, but you've got 2 fairly bulky Pokemon in the back already on this team. But for those of you that do have access to Tropius, I would highly recommend using it, as Tropius is quite powerful in this meta. It core breaks a lot of potential teams that you may see, and will be very powerful on the lead. So let's have a look at this scorecard here. And look at that. Not bad at all, guys. Almost straight A's across the board for your scorecard. You get a B for coverage, A for bulk, A for safety, and an A for consistency. That is amazing. That's an amazing scorecard for team number 1 here. Let's have a look at these matchups here. So Tropius on the lead, like I said, guys, is going to be quite powerful. The only major obstacles that you're going to face with team number 1 are going to be Noctowl and Pidgeot. If you encounter either one of those on the lead, that's going to be tough. And the only course of action that makes the most sense for either one of those on the lead, that being Noctowl or Pidgeot, is to just stay in there and soft lose lead so that you can come in with your Walrein. That's the safest way to play one of those leads. You could make an aggressive play in the Lickitung, but Lickitung running Lick as its fast move doesn't have the best matchup against Noctowl or Pidgeot, of course. So you'll want to soft lose that and then look to come in with Walrein and play from there. Anything else? A Walrein on the lead would be quite awful, but you can go into your Lickitung safe swap. Lickitung's a dedicated safe swap. On this team, we all know the power of Lickitung in the Great League format. As it stands now, it is quite amazing. So anything like a Walrein, maybe an Alolan Ninetales, or even Kanto Ninetales, you're going into Lickitung. But everything else, Tropius is going to do quite well on the lead up against. It wins lead quite a bit. And yeah, I think that if you've only got a handful of Pokemon to be concerned about, you know you've got a pretty solid team, guys, I must say. Like I said, everything else is pretty straightforward. Lost leads like Walrein, Abomasnow, any fire type. You're going into Lickitung and looking to play on from there. But yeah, pretty straightforward for team number 1. It is quite powerful, guys. I hope you guys give it a try and let me know how you do. I will definitely be looking to give team number 1 a try as well myself. It looks quite strong and should set you guys up for the most success in the Summer Cup. And that is Tropius on the lead, Lickitung on the safe swap, and Walrein in the back to close the game strong. And with all that said, guys, that is team number 1. Let's have a look at team number 2. All right, guys, here we go. Team number 2. And it is yet another very powerful team for the Summer Cup. And it leads with Trevenant on the lead. Vigoroth is your safe swap, and Ninetales in the back to close it strong for you, and that is Kanto Ninetales. This is another very powerful team, not as bulky as other teams that I have created over the various metas, but it is not without having a lot of strength and viability in this meta. So let's have a look at this scorecard here. And here we go. Not bad. You get an A for coverage. You get that C for bulk, because like I said, any team with Trevenant on it will be lacking in the bulk department, unfortunately, but that is okay. These 3 Pokemon more than make up for the lack of bulk in their damage output. So you do get that C for bulk, but you get a B for safety and a B for consistency. And most importantly, you do get that solid A for coverage. That is most important. Let's have a look at these matchups here. So Trevenant on the lead, we all know by now, is quite powerful. You will have some issues if you run into a Lickitung or a Diggersby. Those are going to be pretty tricky to handle with this team, as you have one solid answer to those 2 very bulky normal types. So it will take a team effort to take those out. So with Lickitung or Diggersby, you're going to go into Kanto Ninetales, excuse me. You don't want to go into your hard counter, because then you risk losing your only answer to those 2 Pokemon, as they will surely meet your hardest counter with their best answer. So you always go into the soft counter, and the idea is to grab a shield advantage, get it as low as possible if you can. And you can come in with either Vigoroth or Trevenant to finish off either Diggersby or Lickitung on the lead. Tropius can also be a bit of an issue with this team, as it does beat Trevenant and Vigoroth in the 1 shield, but we're talking about the 2 shield scenario here. This is a lead loss. And with something like Tropius, you're going to come in with Vigoroth. Again, Ninetales is your strongest answer to a grass type like Tropius, so you never want to come in with your best answer. You're going to come in with Vigoroth, and if they decide to play out the even shield scenarios, Vigoroth will put in enough work to get the Tropius low to where you can easily come in with Trevenant or Ninetales to finish it off. Everything else is pretty straightforward. Noctowl, Pidgeot, you've got 2 solid answers to either one of those on your team in the form of Vigoroth and Ninetales. And Beware can be a bit tricky as well. That's just because it can deal out super effective fast move pressure with Shadow Claw on Trevenant if you encounter it on the lead, all while double resisting your fast move pressure. You can come in with Vigoroth. You can maybe try and chip with a Seed Bomb, because the recommended moveset for Beware is Superpower, Stomp. Both of those are resisted by Trevenant. So it's really not as bad as you would think. It's really only the fast move pressure that's causing you some problems. But as we all know, Beware is quite squishy, so you can absolutely chip with a Seed Bomb before making a play into Vigoroth on the safe swap, and you should have a good game from then on out there. And that's about it as far as some things that may cause some problems. Everything else is pretty straightforward with team number 2. Pretty solid team. Another one that I may actually give a try. It's looking to be very interesting. And that is Trevenant on the lead, Vigoroth on the safe swap, and a Kanto Ninetales in the back to close the game strong. So that is team number 2. And with all that said, let's have a look at team number 3. All right, guys, last but certainly not least, we've got team number 3. Another pretty solid team for the Summer Cup, and it leads with Blaziken on the lead, Lickitung on the safe swap, and Azumarill in the back to close the game strong. This is a very interesting team because in my early analysis for the Summer Cup, I would have never seen Blaziken being quite as strong in this meta as it is. It is quite powerful in this Summer Cup meta. Let's have a look at this scorecard here for team number 3. And here we go. Not bad. Pretty decent scorecard. You get a B for coverage, A for bulk, which is saying a lot because Blaziken is not known for its bulk, but you've got 2 of the bulkiest Pokemon around in the form of Lickitung and Azumarill to help out in that department. You do get a C for safety and an A for consistency. Pretty decent scorecard for team number 3. Let's have a look at these matchups here. So, like I said, guys, Blaziken on the lead is going to be quite strong. There are a lot of Pokemon that are weak to fighting type damage in this meta, and Blaziken's going to be doing amazing on the lead. You do have some minor obstacles that you should be concerned about on the lead, and those are the flyers, the very strong flyers in this meta that come in the form of Tropius, Noctowl, and Pidgeot. The beauty of Blaziken is that it runs counter, so 2 of those 3 are taking neutral damage from your counters, and it does a lot because Blaziken is quite attack weighted, so you don't have to be too afraid of the flying normal types that you may encounter. But Tropius is a little tricky because it's quite bulky and it is fully resisting your counters, but you can absolutely threaten Tropius with the threat of the Blaze Kick with Stab. You're not going to want to stay in there on a Tropius lead for too long. I would look to chip or grab shield advantage with the threat of a Blaze Kick before making a play into Lickitung. It's going to take a bit of a team effort between the entire team for Tropius, but one Pokemon cannot do it all, guys. I always say that. Pidgeot and Noctowl, you're not going to want to try and chip or anything like that. You're kind of going to want to have to go into Lickitung for those 2. Try and whittle them down. Lickitung's bulky enough to withstand the fast mid pressure and any one charge attack. Nothing's going to one-shot Lickitung. So team effort for the strong flyers, but everything else is going to be pretty nice for Blaziken on the lead. Something like a Stunfisk, Unova Stunfisk is allowed in this meta. You're not going to want to stay in there at all. You've got 2 solid answers to Ufisk in the back on your team, and of course something like a Swampert you're not going to want to stay in there on at all because Swampert is just far too spammy, and the threat of Hydro Cannon will one-shot Blaziken, so you're going to want to instantly go into Lickitung on a Swampert lead as well. But everything else pretty straightforward. You're going to be winning lead a lot with Blaziken. It is quite powerful in this meta, and you should have a good time with team number 3 here. It's a very solid team. Very solid scorecard overall for team number 3, and that is Blaziken on the lead, Lickitung on the safe swap, and Azumarill in the back to bring it home for you. And guys, that about wraps it up for my top 3 best teams for the Summer Cup. Like I said, when this cup was announced, this was the one I was most excited for because I saw the most potential in it for being the most balanced new cup that Niantic introduced for Season 11 of Pokemon Go, and should be a lot of fun. It's going to be running alongside the Open Ultra League, so it's always nice to have some options available to us that we can go back and forth in. If one meta gets a little stale for us, it's always nice to know that there is another one that we can go into and still have some fun in. So, yeah, those are my top 3 teams, guys. I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.